So now it's time to glue the card panels to the depot, and I'm going to start off this end at the depot entrance end. I've got my bit of glue ready and my brush, so I'm going to liberally add the glue to the card, offer it up against the depot end panel. I'm going to use those cross members at the top as my guide, push it on nicely, just gradually work my way around the panel, making sure it fits nicely. Sometimes it's worth just letting the glue settle for a while to make it become a little bit more stickier, and hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. But if you do get any glue oozing out of those depot entrances, wipe it away and go into the depot rather than come out, because obviously you may get it against the card and glue on this card will mark it. So go very, very careful. Take your time as always, and we will do this panel first. Okay, so I put that end panel on, and what I've done is I've tipped the depot upside down, so it allows me just to go along the edges and make sure that they are nice and flush with the card, and I can give it a quick pinch at the end just to make sure it's taking hold. So again, you can just go around and make sure everywhere is all nice and level, and that should dry fairly quickly. So we will move on to doing the other end panel. What I have done on this end is I've actually glued the depot panel rather than the card, and what I'm finding is when I'm putting the glue on, it's going tacky fairly quickly. And I think, to be honest, this is most probably going to be a better way of gluing the panels to the depot. It's less messy, and you don't get it on the card, so you're not going to risk your fingers getting all dirty with glue and making marks. So I would suggest this is possibly a better way to do it, and we'll see how this one gets on. Doing it that way, the card's gone on really nicely, to be honest. So if the card is a slightly little bit bowed, it actually sticks to that glue really well. So if I go up, that has stuck to that panel, and that's only really lightly pressing against it. So I think I'm going to do the rest of the panels by putting the glue on the actual skeleton frame rather than on the card. It's actually working a lot easier, so I'll make that as a footnote on the instructions on the videos, just in case people read those first. But that's a better way. That's fitted really well, and no glue excess, which is what it's all about, and hopefully that will dry really nicely, and then we'll get on and do the two side panels. When we put the card against the side panels, we can use the entrance door as a good guide as to making sure that it's correctly fitted. If I can try and bring the camera lens up to the door just slowly so it stays in focus, you'll see that that fits on the end very nicely. And you'll also see if I move out and we go down to the end, we've got a nice flat edge. Now obviously we've got some corner strips, cappings, that we're going to cover the join, but this has gone on really well. So we've done 3 panels, now we just need to let that one dry, and we'll come back and do the final panel. So there we have it. You have now clad your depot all 4 sides. So all that remains for us to do now is to get the card template and cut all the bits out, and we're going to use the end cappings, the side top mouldings for the top to the roof, the edge strips from the sides of the roof down to the panel, and also around the door edges, and then you will have completed your depot. Obviously we've put those cross members on and they are nicely dried and fully fitted, and those roof trusses are going nowhere. If you want to glue your roof on, I would suggest just gluing it on to 2 of the 4. That's all you'll need. I'm going to leave one side off and I'm going to glue the other side on. So one's for display and one so you can see in. If you want to use the roof and take it off completely, you may want to just use the center cap strip that goes up the top and fold it and put it on one side of the depot, or literally fold it and just place it on top. That's entirely up to you. But there we go, that's done. I'm going to leave that to dry fully, and then we'll come back and do the edge strips.